Goeiedag, hoe gaan dit? My name is Wildkard. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for the privilege of entertaining you today. We are going to do a preview on the Springboks versus Wilds final test 2022 July Internationals. And yeah, before we start, I just want to tell a little bit of a story, okay? So yesterday, I went to the gym early in the morning. I was lifting my phone as you do in the gym, and I realized something. As I was reading through the stats, I was looking at the news, I realized something. And this is going to be a little bit weird for me to say, because I am Australian. I love watching the Springboks. And the reason I love watching the Springboks is because the Springboks play rugby exactly the way I play rugby, okay? I play a front rower because I can't catch the ball, okay? I love scrummaging, I love lineouts, and I love tackling. That's what I love. If the halfback is stupid enough to pass me the ball, I drop it on the ground so we can do another scrum. That's what I love. I love this stuff, and that is what the Springboks love. That is the key for the Springboks to win in their games. That is the core strategy the Springboks revolves around for their success. And yeah, it's this team that we're about to look at is the cream of the crop of South Africa. They went through the grinders and they picked out the players that are best at the three things I just talked about: scrummaging, lineouts, and tackling. So we're going to look at that right here, right now. Before we start, some really interesting selections as well. I had to actually go through the stats to kind of like make sense of some of the selections we shall look at. But man, this is not just the A team. This is not the B team from the Springboks. This is the A double plus team. This is just super exciting. So much talent in this team, and yeah, we'll have a look at it. So first up, let's go through some stuff. So weather tomorrow, Cape Town, it's gonna be played. Perfect weather, dry conditions. Maybe a little bit forecast at night, but it should be okay. As good as you can get for a rugby game to be played. So the selections, there was some very interesting stuff. So Jaden Hendrickson gets selected at number 9 over Faf de Klerk. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I had to go back and check the stats. And yeah, interestingly enough, Jaden Hendrickson actually made fewer mistakes in the second test, where the Springboks had made a lot of mistakes in this test match where they lost to Wales. Hendrickson did not make a single mistake as the halfback, whereas Faf de Klerk in the first test actually made quite a few mistakes. And yeah, I can see why he is, just based on stats, I can see why Faf is dropped. So let's look at this one. Turnovers conceded 3. 3 tackles made on 1 missed tackle. Whereas if you look at Hendrickson in the second test, 6 tackles made, 0 missed tackles, no turnovers conceded. So the overall execution for Hendrickson is just like no running, passing the ball, just clean execution, exactly what the coaches want. Because like I said, it's all about setting up the maul. It's all about the 4-pack. The job for the halfback really is just to it's almost like, yeah, assist to set up for the rest of the team. So Hendrickson had a really clinical performance. Congratulations, man. He gets the starting number 9 over Faf de Klerk. As you can see, Faf de Klerk actually had more running. Actually tried 4 runs himself. Hendrickson did not do any of that. They just wanted to tidy up the game. And yeah, interesting selection there. Another thing for the Springboks, Pieter-Sepp du Toit comes back at number 7. I thought his performance last week was a little bit rusty. I double checked his stats. He was actually, his defense, Pete du Toit, flanker, 7 tackles made, 2 missed tackles. Not the greatest. If he had made 14 tackles and missed 2, that's okay. But for only making 7 tackles, 2 missed tackles, not exactly the most amazing performances there. Attacking Pieter-Sepp du Toit, 5 carries. So lots of carries, lots of forward momentum. So maybe that's a shift from the Springbok coaching as well. They wanted to move towards a more attacking style instead of more of defensive style. So as you can see, he did get the starting stop over Franco Mostert. So if we have a look at Mostert's stats from the first test, he is, where is Mostert? Not Morat. Where is Mostert? Come on, man. Where is he? Yeah, here it is. So as you can see, Franco Mostert, he didn't really attack with the ball at all. 0 run meters, 1 carry. He just basically, did a lot of defending, which is really good. 7 tackles, no missed tackles. So it is a little bit of an interesting selection set. Like despite the missed tackles from Peter Sip he gets selected over Mostert for his attacking, looks like. So interesting selection there. A nice little shift on the Springboks decision making there to have a more of attacking mindset. Obviously, the last and probably the most important selection for the Springboks, another key selection is the Andre Pollard, comes in at number 10. Obviously, over, they really don't have another option. I guess you could put a Valemsa there at 10, but Holler's performance last week wasn't very clinical. Like, his kicking game was not very clinical. So this week, he needs to do a lot better than last week. Otherwise, I feel like at this point, Valemsa would just be a better 10 option. As you can see, the stats from the first game, Valemsa, 127 run meters, like absolutely like blowing, just like, hitting home runs with his performance in the first test there. And really can't really ask much from Valemsa. 3 tackles, got turned over twice, but no missed tackles. As good as you can ask for someone, and his goal kicking was pretty good as well. So, it's something that we have to see how this is going to turn out. But hopefully this coach, the coaching staff has looked into some of these options with, Andre Pollard. They do have more, look at his defense. Pollard didn't even have to defending. What's Pollard's defense look like? 6 tackles, 2 missed tackles, so not even that great. 3 turnovers conceded as well. So not really the greatest stats for him in terms of defending as well. So interesting stuff. But I did notice one thing, that maybe this is something that they're going to try to rectify with Pollard. In the first test, believe it or not, Mapimpi did not touch the ball. Yeah, well, he technically did touch the ball in the line out. He got the line out. I think he was standing in front. He got like a line out pass to him, but he did not touch the ball in back line. So the first test we can see here, Makazula, Mapimpi, 0. Everything 0 across the board. Attacking, I thought this has to be a mistake, right? Like, did not touch the ball. He literally did not touch the ball in the first test. I don't think he was taken out early. He didn't get injured. On his defense, he made 1 tackle, so he's definitely like he's definitely not like doing nothing. He's definitely did something. He made 1 tackle. He won 2 lineouts. Yeah, I don't know how this works. How could he won 2 lineouts whilst having? I feel like this might be a mistake, but apparently he didn't get used at all. I don't remember him from the first test. Let me know if this is the wrong stats, but maybe this is something that they wanted to bring in Andre Pollard for, maybe to maybe, engage the winger a little bit with Mapimpi. Not sure, because the Pollard, a lot of the kicking game Pollard does revolves around 2 key men, which is Mapimpi, who does a lot of the kicking, pressure, getting the ball back. The second thing that Pollard does really well with with the long range kicks is generally Mapimpi and Cheslin Kobe chasing them down, and maybe because that kicking wasn't there in the first test, Mapimpi literally did nothing. I feel like that's probably one of the reasons that Pollard at 10, because Pollard and Mapimpi combination with the kicking game is quite good for the Springboks. It's really interesting how maybe that's also coming into decision making in putting Pollard at 10. So we'll have to see how that it's going to work out. So overall, let's have a look at the exact lineup. Trevor Nyake, one of the most talented props in the world. He gets the starting at number 1 position. He played tight head prop last week, comes in number 1 for the Springboks, and loose head prop position. Abungi Bunabi, which retains the number 2 position. Franz Melcherde comes in number 3 for the Springboks. They're up against the exact same front row they matched up against in the, I think there might be same as the first test. Garrett Thomas, number 1. Ryan Elias, number 2. Dylan Lewis, number 3. The scrummaging in the first test was the Springboks did not get that clear advantage in the first place in the first test. Maybe that is the adjustment they made. Maybe that is why they made the adjustment, putting Nyake at number 1 to try to get that bit more dominance, that bit more power for that scrummaging, to get that clear advantage for the Springboks in that up front. Ibn Smith comes in number 4. He's approaching his 100th test this weekend. He's the man that the Springboks cannot live without. Lou Diego comes in number 5. Some of you guys did point out, I said Ibn Smith lost the line out that resulted in the Welsh try, the first try, Reece Louis Ahmed. It was actually Lou Diego who lost that line out. So yeah, bit of execution error there from Diego. She should be better this week. Will Rollins comes in number 4. Adam Beer, number 5. Sia Khaleesi comes in number 6, the captain. Always good, always works hard around the park. And as a captain, I think he's, what do you call it? He's really he's just like one of those guys who does a lot of the hard work. And that's exactly what we want from the 6th position. Dan Lydiate comes in the 6th for the Welsh team. Peter Septitoy returns to number 7. Like I said, he did show a little bit more carry than Franco Moster, which is probably why he gets the 7 jersey. I'm surprised that he was not, I was actually expecting him on the bench. But yeah, he gets the 7 jersey. His rush defense has been really good for the Springboks. So we shall see how he goes again this weekend. Whether or not he's going to tidy up that tackling mistakes, we have to see. Tommy Raphael comes in number 7 for the Welsh. Number 8, Jasper Visa. Tulipe Falatau comes in number 8 for the Welsh. Now, there's a big difference in the style of number 8s for the both teams. Falatau is kind of more like traditional number 8, just puts himself in center field position and is supporting the team with running game. Whereas Jasper Visa, he's more of a guy that chases down the box kick. Yeah, so this is another reason why I feel like Handré Pollard might be selected, because Jasper Visa is one of the guys that works exclusively in a strategy that pressures the high ball. And Handré Pollard's kicking game will yield a much better result having Visa on the field. And yeah, like the style that he plays as a number 8 is completely different from any other number 8 around the world. He plays almost like a back, the way he pressures the high balls, and he's really, really good at it. So Jasper Visa, number 8, one of the pieces of the puzzle that probably has the Springboks had in mind was selecting Pollard at number 10. So yeah, Hendricksa, well done, young man, from getting a red card in the Lions Test Tour, elbowing someone on the ground to getting the starting spot over Faf de Klerk at number 9. Congratulations, man. That is some huge turnaround. This guy, he's electrifyingly good as well when he gets the ball. He did score a try on his debut for the Springboks, and it's good to see that he's able to follow those directions, tidying up his gameplay, making no mistakes, and just doing the basics right. And yeah, that good execution gets him the start at number 9 jersey. Kieran Hardy gets number 9 again for the Welsh. Handré Pollard gets number 10. He's criticized a lot last week for his poor kicking game. I do think that the kicking game was bad last week because he didn't have the other players around him to kind of support the kicking that he was doing. Like, there were some shockers. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it too much. There were some pretty shocking kicks he did last week, but I feel like having the right players around him that can pressure the kicks that he do will probably yield a better results this week, which is really, really important for the Springboks. Dan Biggar comes in number 10. Again, Biggar had a really terrible week last week. I'm surprised to see he get a number 10 jersey again. I do feel like Anscombe did a lot better in like 15 minutes than Biggar has done in the whole game. And also Dan Biggar, once again last week he let his emotions, took over a little bit. Wasn't really in control of the game for whilst he was on the field. Like, Anscombe came onto the field in the second half and just immediately turned the game around for the Welsh. Looked much faster paced, much more options opened up, and really created a lot of space when he was on the field. So I'm surprised that Biggar gets number 10 jersey. I do think that Biggar is a better matchup for Handré Pollard at 10 because they two play a very similar style. Both have similar kicking range. Goal kicking percentage is pretty similar there as well. So it's a good matchup there on paper, but I just don't think the performance Dan Biggar put out last couple of weeks really deserve him the spot at number 10, to be really frank. My Pimpy, like we looked at, hopefully he gets the ball with Pollard on number 10. I do realize, like I said, the Pollard's kicking game really involves around a lot of pressure from my Pimpy, and maybe without my Pimpy, without Pollard next to him, my Pimpy is not really utilized at all on the field. Josh Adams comes in number 11 for an injury. I think got injured. The winger that started us with that was injured. I can't remember his name, but yeah, Josh Adams comes in at number 11. Damien de Allende. We'll talk about him later. Damien de Allende comes in number 12, center position. Nick Tompkins, number 12 for the Welsh. I do think that Nick Tompkins is actually probably outperforming Damien de Allende a little bit. I'm not really expecting this, but Tompkins, the work rate the hard running, the carrying from that he brings to the Welsh, and being able to get over the advantage line with pretty good ball handling, I do feel like he's actually adding more value for the Welsh than Damien de Lende is adding to the Springboks. Yeah, so yes, this, de Lende probably needs to start putting on some bigger performances. Otherwise, he probably will risk that 12 jersey a little bit to somebody else. I don't know who else, but yeah, it's something that I've noticed. That's just that. Lucamio comes in number 13. George North, number 13 for the Welsh. Ever since George North returned for the Welsh backline does look a lot more like structured, I felt, than they were looking at Six Nations. George North at number 13 gets another solid start for the decider, bringing that experience, that Lions towards experience for them, for the Welsh side. Cheslin Kobe at number 14, most electrifying man on the field. And if Reece Zammit, the number 14 jersey, again, two most electrifying players in the world matching up at number 14. I can't wait to see. Number 15, the greatest player in Springboks, Damien Valemsa, the man who does not get a break. Ibn Esbeth is the most important player for the Springboks in the forward pack. Damien Valemsa will be the most important player in the back line. He gets number 15 jersey. As we saw, the stats in the first game was just enormous. He is incredible, and gets the 15 jersey. So, and also he covers everyone in the back line. So yeah, he's not gonna get injured. He can't get injured. And if he gets injured, there is actually a slight risk. I guess, maybe not really that much of a risk, because I guess Cheslin Kobe plays at number 10. But yeah, if Pollard gets injured and Valemsa gets injured, then Cheslin Kobe, I guess, will go to 10. It's not a big deal. But yeah, Valemsa is really good. Liam Williams comes in number 15 for the Welsh. Once again, the back line, the reserves unchanged for the Welsh. So really interesting there. There's a couple shuffling around for the Springboks from the first test. So Malcolm Marks retains jersey number 16. Stephen Kittop comes in number 17. Vincent Koch retains his jersey number 18. The finishing front rowers, the bomb squad sort of thing. Pretty good setup here. Franco Mostert gets moved down to number 19 from the 7 jersey. Huaga Smith brings a tremendous amount of speed for the Springboks, the number 20 jersey. Alrai Lowe, a new addition to the Springbok, kind of like bomb squad setup at number 21. His performance in the first test has earned himself another starter 21 jersey. And congratulations, Alrai Lowe. And then Faf de Klerk gets dropped to number 22, probably, like I said, to do his, to make way for Hendricks up. Maybe he needs to tidy up his game a little bit with his mistakes. And Willie Leroux did really well for the Springboks in the first test, coming off the bench. Really, like, the Springboks needed big performances from the bench. He was basically put onto the field at halftime and, delivered quite a good, solid performance from the fullback. I think he had like 40 run meters as well, which is quite good coming off the bench. And, really, gave the team needed something different, and he brought it. So that was really, really good from Willie Leroux. For the Welsh, they have unchanged lineup. Louis Lake comes in at number 6. Wyn Jones, number 17. Sam Wainwright, number 18. Pretty solid setup for the front rowers. Alan Wyn Jones, the most experienced players, comes in number 19. Josh Navidi, number 20. The finishers for the forwards. In the back line, in the reserves, Tom Williams, number 21 at the number 9 position. Gareth Anscombe last week showed how good he was and why he was, the starting number 10 for Welsh before he got injured, before Dan Bigger took over. He gets number 22 jersey again. Owen Watkins, number 23, riding up the Welsh reserves. So, yeah, that's the setup. I feel like the Springboks double A team, if they can do the key areas correctly and get the key areas, the dominance, the tackle dominance, the line-out dominance, and scrum dominance, and then with Mapimpi and and Mapimpi, Cheslin Kobe, and Jasper Visa pressuring the kicking game. I think Pollard's kicking game is going to be better with the players supporting him, supporting his kicks. So, yeah, and also just the fact that Wales is starting Dan Bigger again, really didn't make any changes from their last, only one injury change. It really didn't make much fundamental changes for the team from last week. I do feel like the Springboks it's just gonna run the Welsh over like they did in the second half. It's just gonna be a more consistent performance from the Springboks for the entire duration instead of having a shaky start and then try to catch up in the second half. So I think this is gonna be a clear win for the Springboks. 35 points to 12. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions, guys, down in the comments below. Do appreciate being here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the weekend for the review. Cheers.